the mic. My name is Lauren, and today we have with us Joe. Now, I don't know Joe's story. I'm friends with his his fiancée Kat, who is here in spirit with us via this egg, Teddy. But you're going to get to know Joe in the same way as I am today. So we're going to start off, as we always do, with 20 quick questions. You happy to do 20 quick questions? Here we go. Nice, easy one to start with. How old are you, Joe?
I'm 36.
30, same age as me.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a great age.
And where are you from?
Launceston, Cornwall.
Cornwall, so Cornwall, but now live in Exeter.
Yeah, well, Ottery.
Ottery, you've just moved, haven't you?
Yeah.
What's your star sign?
Gemini.
Gemini. We had a Gemini yesterday as well, yeah. Oh, I know the answer to this. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I'm a dog person.
Yeah. I think we might have to share a picture of Reggie when this one goes out, yeah. So now kind of more into the more kind of deeper stuff. So what was your drug of choice?
So I think the headline would be I was an IV crack and heroin user. But the truth is anything.
Yeah. Anything.
So if I would take drugs that I didn't even particularly enjoy as an alternative to feel how I felt.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So from A to Z.
Anything that alters the mind.
Yeah, but I think those two were the big prominent troublemakers in my life.
And how old were you when you first noticed that your relationship with substances were different than other people's?
It's really difficult to differentiate what I now know with hindsight and how I felt at the time. I think, so I first did a detox off of heroin when I was 16. So I must have known that something wasn't quite right, and I didn't want to be kind of dependent on that, but it never stopped me.
Yeah.
You know, there's loads of consequences.
Yeah.
But I think I also didn't know like a viable route out of what I was doing. Yeah. So I tried to stop using the drugs and I'd use other drugs that were more socially acceptable. Yeah. And think that was the cause, but I kept the flame alive and I'd always end up going back. So it's a difficult one. Like there was loads of early symptoms of not being able to stop. And like, unlike my friends at parties, they would all go home and I'd carry on and stuff,
That's a really common theme that we're getting through these podcasts is teenage years. Yeah. Like once you've taken something, knowing I like this and I don't want to stop doing this. And it's quite a common thread we're finding is it's young, that relationship and that bond with the substance is young.
Yeah, really young. And using on my own really young as well. Yeah. The first time I used, I can remember using ecstasy when I was 12. And I was meant to do it with a couple of friends, and they kind of said they could, they were quite sensible, really. Yeah. And last minute they said, no, actually, we're not going to do this. So I did it on my own. Yeah. And I sat in a graveyard on my own at 12 years old. Yeah. It's like, when I look back now, I have a lot of empathy for that child, but at the time, I don't know what was. Yeah.
It's fascinating when you look back on it on reflection, isn't it? You think, bloody hell,
it's dark.
Yeah, that's young. And how long have you been sober for now?
So I say clean because, like I said, it's all substances, and so I'm abstinent, and I'm just coming up 7 years.
7 years, fantastic. Yeah. That is so good. What one word would your friends use to describe you, Joe?
That's a difficult question.
It's hard, isn't it?
Reliable. I think that's,
That's a nice one to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I can turn up today.
Yeah. What daily habit do you do every day that keeps you grounded?
So I talk to other addicts in recovery daily without fail. That is one thing that I can say 100% that I do. There's other stuff like meditation and breath work and things like that that contribute to my recovery, but I think without fail the foundation is connection to other people in recovery.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And do you have a quote or a mantra that you live by?
I wouldn't say that I live by, but there's a couple of things that have stuck with me that have served me quite well. So you can't think your way into a new way of living. You've got to live your way into a new way of thinking.
That's a nice one.
And what was the other one I thought of? I can't remember now.
I'm sure it'll come to you when we're chatting through. Who is your hero?
My dad.
Your dad? Yeah. Everyone's answers is either their mum or their dad. It's a lovely thing, isn't it? What is a song that always lifts your mood?
Jamie T, Back in the Game.
Oh, That's a great song, isn't it? I used to love Jamie T when I was younger. He
I
was
still do.
massive, wasn't he? Yeah. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
So Kat would say Adam Driver because that is who she would want
Yeah,
to see.
Adam Driver's Kylo Ren from Star Wars.
Yeah,
Is that right?
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I could see that.
I would say Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, yeah. And who would do the soundtrack to that movie?
So I think it would be a Nick Cave, Michael Kiwanuka
Oh,
mashup.
yeah.
I think they would come together.
Oh yeah, that would be a good film. Adam Driver, Michael Kiwanuka in the background.
Get the script out.
Yeah. If you had a dinner party, if you could have a dinner party with a famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Cormac McCarthy.
I don't know who that is.
He's an author. He wrote The Road.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
He's written some really interesting books, and I would just like to pick his mind.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. And if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Complete forgiveness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good one because everyone else is like, I'd like to fly.
Yeah.
I'd like to be invisible for a day, whereas yours has like a more profound, deeper meaning to it.
I'd like to be able to, be free.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good. I think for a lot of us in recovery, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah. Do you have a guilty pleasure band, TV show, film, or hobby?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is your guilty pleasure. To be fair, in Blade Runner 2049, there's nothing to be guilty about for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got a framed picture of Ryan Gosling in my house.
I love that next to the side of the bed.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get more into the kind of bones of your story, and you'll tell us your story, and we'll kind of get some advice out from the story for our audience members. So kind of starting wherever you wish to start, tell us about your story and your journey in recovery.
Okay, so I came into recovery in 2018, start of 2018. My using had just got to that place where I couldn't even convince myself that there was fun left to have. You know, that like I'd been stripped of the denial and the justification and all of that kind of stuff. I see it as like a moment's grace, really. I was in a really deep psychosis. You know, it's a really, really painful place to be. I was just, my life was spent locking doors and watching shadows on the doors and like just fear, complete fear. But I couldn't stop taking the drugs that were kind of inducing that fear. And I was using with a family member, and I was at their house, and I kind of said to them, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I can't do this anymore, you know. Which I'd done plenty of times before, and I never had an out. I'd been involved with the services for a long time. I'd had scripts, I'd done all that stuff, and I didn't really know what was going to be different this time, but I knew like I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, I was just so unhappy. And all of the guilt and the shame of that kind of the life that I was leading, the drugs weren't covering it anymore. So I just kind of felt really raw, and no amount of like gear was solving that for me anymore. So I said to this family member, you know, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and do something different. And as a result of that, she had some contact with a 12-step fellowship, but she also had some contact with an abstinence-based dry house in Exeter. And through that, so I detoxed myself at home, which was a pretty horrific ordeal.
So no script this time.
No,
this was just straight cold turkey.
Yeah, I had a bit of street bought methadone, stuff like that. But yeah, I did it. I'm not going to say bare bones. I had a bit of help.
But kind of gradually brought yourself down.
I did it over a couple of weeks, and then, you know, she made contact with this kind of 12-step dry house in Exeter, and we went up there for an interview, and I was in a really bad weight.
Yeah.
I was like 8 stone weight.
Yeah.
I was really and I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of being herded.
Yeah.
And I went in, and the two people that were running this house were in recovery, and they could see.
Yeah.
They could see straight away. And although they didn't like taking self referrals, they did. I had to give some clean tests, and I had to do some 12-step meetings. And then they kind of got me in there, and that was where the journey started. And there's a little saying, you only have to change one thing, and that's everything. And it was really true, because I'd become so entrenched in that world from such a young age. I didn't know anything else. I didn't have friends left that were still just normal people. Everyone involved in my life was involved in crime and drug addiction. That was everyone. So, I literally at 28, I just had to start again. Strip it all down and start again, change my number, and kind of build this new community. And that's where the kind of the fellowship and the meetings really filled that void for me, and really held me through that journey.
So in prior times when you tried to stop and didn't quite hit the mark, like, did you not change anything else? Like, did your friendship, it was kind of that hit and hope that I'm going to stop, but nothing else around me's changed.
I knew I didn't want to be living how I was living. It got to like animal level a lot of the time. But I didn't have an out. I didn't have anyone around me. Like I said, I was involved with the services, but it was just, here's your script, come and do tests.
And 9 to 5 as well, isn't it? Like, loads of people talk about, who do I have after 5 o'clock if I'm only in treatment services?
And to be honest, it was kind of, I never wanted to stop selling drugs. I never wanted to, all that kind of lifestyle stuff that went with it. I'd never even considered that I'd have to stop doing that. I just need to stop. And it was really, for me, like, I put all of it on that one substance. So the one that I'm physically dependent on, if I can stop doing that, then everything's going to be okay. And I convinced myself of that for years and years and years. And it turns out that's not the case.
It's amazing how the addiction does that, isn't it? Like, oh, you don't need to get rid of all of us. Just that one.
That one. That's really damaging. People judge you for that one. Do you know what I mean? So I would kind of get on a script and get a haircut and some new clothes and get out in the pubs and start doing all that. I would get arrested 10 times more doing that than I would on the other one. But it was this just journey of, I think when I look back at my active addiction now, it's like constantly striving to find this perfect cocktail of drugs. Where I could kind of live like a normal person, but not have to experience the feelings that normal people feel. Just this constant search for kind of manageability within that world. I never found it.
It's interesting as well, isn't it? So I don't know if you find this, but I have that experience now that I don't use anything. I always try and find something to heighten the experience. So like, oh, I've got a weekend off, so I've got to buy this cake and I've got to do this, and like everything's always got to be this search for
more.
Euphoria and more all the time.
And that's what I've had to learn in recovery, and this is why I kind of identify with it being kind of an illness of the mind, because once I put the drugs down, it's still there, and I'm still seeking gratification in kind of outside things. Do you know what I mean? It's all kind of hollow. Whether that's love in the wrong places, do you know what I mean? All that stuff. To kind of validate and fulfill me. Where my experience has been now that it's kind of it's an internal job.
And a constant piece of work. I think that's the hardest bit for people to get their head around, is it doesn't just stop once you stop. The management of it.
It just starts.
It
just starts. But it's not like, I think when I was earlier around and on hear people talking about having to do this daily, it's like, oh my God, what a chore. But actually it's, once it becomes a familiar thing, you change those kind of patterns of behaviour. I enjoy doing recovery now.
But also when you're in active addiction, it's exhausting. The constant scoring, the keeping yourself well, it's exhausting, isn't it?
It's Groundhog Day, isn't it? Waking up miserable, finding the money to get well, it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
every day
just all the time.
Yeah.
So obviously you said earlier in the 20 questions that you started, you used ecstasy when you were 12 years old and stuff, which I'd imagine in our world is quite a common thing, but isn't common to Joe blogs out there kind of.
Yeah.
Talk me through that. Talk me through that, knowing from a young age that you weren't comfortable in your own skin and wanted to alter that, change that.
Yeah. So I think as far back as I can remember, I was a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Whether it's adrenaline, whether it's substances, whether it's like I come from like a reasonably normal family.
Yes. Yeah.
There's those issues that every family has. There's a lot of guesswork in the home as a child, working out people's moods. My family aren't the great communicators.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of my early life trying to figure out what I'd done wrong, ultimately, or what I perceived.
Yes.
And it was really uncomfortable. And
that anxious feeling all the time. Yeah.
Constantly doing other people's thinking for them.
Yeah.
And never finding the answers. It's just. And I found relief from that in substances.
Yeah.
I just, there was tobacco. I used to nick my granddad's tobacco when I was, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew it was naughty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
Nick it and bury it out in the field and then sneak out in the middle of the night and smoke this like muddy
gross
stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, it was like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
And the thing was, I wasn't really seeing that around me in the home. Like, I don't know where I was getting that from. I don't know what the influence was, whether it was just seeing my granddad and knowing my mum just hated the fact that he smoked. That was
like
enough.
rebellion thing,
And like substances quelled that. As soon as I went to secondary school, I was on those lads that were at the tree smoking facts. The older lads that were at that time, they were going down to Plymouth Dance Academy in Plymouth and doing all that. And I was like, I want
a bit of that.
Just drawn to that straight away. And that's where we started getting our hands on bits and experimenting. Yeah,
it's interesting. It was when you're that age and it's all exciting and tantalising. You don't have the tools to know I shouldn't really do this, and this is filling a void. We don't have access to that language when you're teenagers, do you?
No, not at all. And also, I was just surrounded myself with people that were doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we weren't sat around going, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Do you know
because
what I
we're
mean?
all doing it. Yeah.
We don't want to challenge each other.
Yeah.
We want to just do what we're
doing. And then it becomes, the older you get, all enabling each other and all that sort of stuff. So if you want a day off of it and someone else doesn't, come on, we'll only have half today and all that sort of.
And I think there's like a certain age where the group splits.
Yeah.
People like that aren't tuned up like me. Do you know what? I'm going to go and do something. And I decided not to.
Yeah.
I decided to just get deeper in that world.
Yeah. So going back to where we were in terms of your going into the dry house, entering meetings, what was that like, going into that, where your mind space had shifted of, I can't feel like this anymore, I've taken this as far as I can. What was it like then, opening yourself up to, I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to stop doing this forever?
Yeah, it's a big thing to comprehend.
It's huge.
I was so broken, and I had so much experience of, like I said, juggling the different drugs to try and live manageably. I could kind of see why abstinence was going to be the only thing. I can't hold on to something because that's never worked for me. I've never had an experience. I was going to say,
have you had experience prior to, I'm going to control, like that initial denial bit of, I'm going to make some changes and I'm going to control my using?
I mean, I might have told it to myself. It never worked out.
No.
I went through a big stage in my mid-20s where I'm going to put those really bad drugs down that everyone judges me for. And like I said, I'm going to get out in the pubs and I'll take cocaine because it's a bit more socially acceptable.
Yeah. Bit of cocaine and alcohol. Everyone does that. That's fine. Yeah.
Lauren, my nose collapsed. Right? It just fell out.
Yeah.
And not even then did I think, I might have a problem with drugs.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
So the physical cues weren't touching the sides for you.
I had no ability of myself to control my using.
Yeah.
I would tell myself every day I'm going to pack it in tomorrow. I'd do all the drugs the night before, and then I'd wake up in sheer horror that I had done that because I've got to go and get
and now they're all gone. Yeah.
Because the obsession hits me.
Yeah, that tomorrow thing is the most exhausting thing, I think, when you're in it. If that, I'll sort this tomorrow, I'll sort this tomorrow. It never happens.
It wears you down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the reality of your inability to sort it tomorrow becomes quite evident.
Well, it impacts everything, doesn't it? It impacts your self-esteem, all the guilt, all the shame stuff. The more you tell yourself you're going to do it and you don't do it, it's just horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah, it really compounds that stuff.
Yeah,
it really
does.
It, yeah.
So in terms of then, you're 8 stone when wet in the meetings. What was the hook? What kind of got you thinking, actually, this could work for me?
So it was in my first meeting, I heard a chap who's a really close friend of mine today, and he's got decades clean. He came in. So my first meeting was a Tuesday afternoon meeting. It was very small, and there was some ladies sat around and they were talking about when they open a packet of biscuits, they can't stop.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm like, where am I?
Yeah.
why have I been told that I need to be here? And then this chap came in, and what he shared about was the obsession of the mind. He said, if I was only allowed to use once a month, all I would think about all month was just that one. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I completely identified with the complete obsession. It consumes everything. Yeah. You know, I can't think when I'm like on that road to using, I cannot consider anything else or anyone. Yeah. And I was like, right. And then, you know, I was absolutely ragged. Both my legs were in compression. I was in a really, really bad way. And he just took me off after the meeting and treated me like a normal human being, which was like, wow, man. Yeah. I'm ashamed to be seen with me, do you know what I mean, let alone. And he just showed me love. And it was the kind of first little chink in the armour, first little bit of hope. It's like, and I really wanted what these guys had because they'd been where I'd been. Yeah. They had it. I didn't get it straight away. I had some relapses in my first 9 months. I just couldn't, I went through some situations where I just couldn't deal with the feelings that I was dealing with. And because I'd spent my whole life being so closed off, too proud to share, too proud to be honest, I wasn't sharing with people and I would hold it in and use on it. Yeah. And they were the real clinchers for me. It's like, oh, you're not in control of this. Yeah.
I think we see a lot of people who, when they relapse, when they're kind of starting the journey, if I really want to make a change, they really beat themselves up for it. And you can see the thing of, do I give up? Do I give up and just go back to it constantly? And it's that feedback of, it's kind of the process that you've got to go through, because with every lapse you learn more about why you do it, isn't it?
I think it's powerful. I think I really learned the seriousness of what I'm up against, what I'm contending with. Because I've got something in my head that it's got my voice right and it's really convincing. And it says, go on, do that. And as soon as I do it, it goes, what have you done that for?
It's the ultimate gaslighter, isn't it?
Exactly, It just makes me feel insane. It's like, so, I had to learn to get honest and open and vulnerable with other men and kind of share where I was at. And, you know, a lot of that was tied up in seeking relationships and really wanting to be loved, but not knowing how to be loved and kind of chasing that outside stuff. And it just left me feeling hollow and even more lonely than I was. I had some... I just, like, my stories, I just kept coming back. Until I kind of... The last time I used was New Year's Eve 2018, and it was just horrendous. I was right back into... and the whole time I was doing it, like something had set me off, and I'd gone straight into obsession. I'd found a big issue seller, and the whole time because I had a few months clean. Now I'm going, you don't have to do this. You can ring someone when the disease is getting mad. Don't ring them, they'll talk about it.
So you can remember the dispute of kind of that angel on your shoulder and that devil on the shoulder,
More vividly than I'd ever known it, because before, right, I just woke up and I used. So now I've got a bit of clean time. The obsessions hit me, and I'm going through the motions, right? So I've got the number, I've rang the guy, meet in this park, and I'm going, you don't have to do this, but you've made the appointment now. You can't let him down. This poor guy's come all the way from Liverpool. You know what I mean? And obviously he's not there in 2 minutes. I'm sat in the park for half an hour. I've got plenty of time to leave.
To talk yourself out of it,
but you can't let him down. Like this mad disease, you can't let this guy down. You don't, just buy him, you don't have to use them, right? Like
love that one.
You just buy them so you don't let him down and throw them away. So I really experienced the power of not wanting to use and using against my will. And the fellowship that I'm involved with has really taught me how to surrender to that and accept.
That I really resonate with what you said, but that it's more powerful when it's your own voice.
Oh, man.
It's a really, because I try and get people in the stuff I run to give it another voice, to name it and things like that. But there's something about, you have got to own there is a voice that's kind of really guiding you towards the chaos.
Yeah,
Like say that obsessional brain.
It doesn't want the best for you.
So, from the story you've told me so far, it sounds like the fellowship and engagement in meetings just kind of gave you your life back, fundamentally. I'm a huge believer in meetings and people not having to deal with this shit on their own. In your own words, what did the fellowship and meetings do for you?
Yeah, I think they gave me new ideas. Like they gave me ideas that I'd never really considered before. They held me. They allowed me to be me. What I love about fellowship is I don't have to fit in. I'm just accepted for who I am. There's no kind of I don't have to change myself. Which I'd never really experienced before. All throughout my life, I was like a chameleon, and I would just change who I was to fit into any kind of music group. And they had lived experience, which I think is the most powerful thing. You know, that kind of therapeutic value of one addict helping another is just without parallel. Like I said, I'd been involved in services and I had some great key workers along the way. They just, they could theorise on where I was at and where I'd been and my experiences, but, there's nothing quite like another addict saying, yeah, me too.
It's so powerful, isn't it?
They really held me. They not accepted, but allowed me to be mental, because I was for a long time. I was very insular. I'd lived in a world where there's a lot of violence, so a lot of I was fear-based. I was scared of everyone, but how that would come out was quite standoffish. Don't approach me. Do you know what I mean? And they just loved me through that. They hugged me anyway. Just kind of started showing me how to live life on life's terms, without all of that stuff. Taught me how to do food shops. They taught me how to set up direct debit, set up bank accounts.
So life skills, not just skills to manage and maintain not using, but also how to be a human.
And turn up. And I think like the principles that we apply in our recovery all plays into that. I learned about integrity, turning up for work every day, whether I want to or don't. It taught me about honesty and how I can be dishonest without lying. How I can be dishonest to myself. Just taught me about all this stuff that I just had no relationship with. I had no understanding. Really started to learn what it was to be a human and what it was to be Joe without all of that shit. All of that stuff that I'd kind of hid behind and all those facades.
How was your experience of doing the steps?
It was revolutionary. It was I wasn't someone that questioned it. I I was that desperate, like that desperation was a real driving force in my first round of steps, and so I found a sponsor and I built a relationship with a man. I really trusted him, and we had a lot of shared experiences. And it turns out, when I use drugs, I'm quite a rebellious person. But you take the drugs out of me, I'm quite I'm a people pleaser. I want you to like me, right? So he told me to write the step work and we'll do it. And I did that. I took that direction. I turned up and I did what I needed to do. And I started learning about myself through that process. The step 4 and 5 process, I really let go of stuff that I'd been holding on to that no one else knew. And what I didn't realise is just weighing me down.
So step 4 is kind of that resentment sort of stuff, isn't it?
It's a moral inventory. So it's all the stuff that I don't want to tell you. It's all that stuff that I keep to myself, and it keeps me unwell. Because what it does is exaggerate shame, guilt, fear, all that stuff.
And constantly provides a rationale to use.
Tells me I'm not good enough. So I can remember because there was stuff in there, like when I wrote my step work, I wrote answers and then in brackets I put "don't share this." So at least I've written it right, but I'm not going to share it with you. And when I got there, it was such a loving, open atmosphere, and he shared his stuff with me, and I shared mine with him. And I shared the entirety of my step 4, and I can remember I used to have to get a train over to Exmouth to see my sponsor, and I can just remember the train journey back, feeling almost like I was, levitating. Just that light. It's like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
And then, I learned about my defects of character through 6 and 7 and the solution to that, which is the application of principles. And then I go back and try and heal some of the harm that I caused in step 8 and 9. I make a list of people that I've harmed. And, I managed to make some really... I'll talk about one amends because it was a really big one. I had a gran that loved me without any kind of rationale sometimes. But she was someone that would always bail me out. It's always a last resort. I didn't, but when things got really on top, she would, and I abused that. And I managed to. This is during COVID, right? So I had the amends written. I knew how I was going to do it. I had a big financial amends to make with them, and I'd saved the money and had their stuff. But then COVID kept getting in the way, so it got put back like a year and a half. And I finally managed to get up, and I made the amends with my gran and her husband. And then about 3 weeks later, she went into hospital with a bladder infection. And she was a really vibrant woman. Really healthy, really mobile. And the day of her release, she just had a massive heart attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is I got to make that amends. Because the stuff I did at the end in that relationship was like final straw kind of stuff. I was too ashamed to ever face that relationship again, because that's what I would do, is burn it and walk away. I would never go back and try and fix that. I didn't have that, and they gave me the ability to go back and make an amends and make peace in these relationships, and I managed to do that with her. And so she got to see me clean, and she got to see me healthy, and she got to see me truly say sorry and mean it. Like, I'm not going to do this again.
I bet you're so grateful that you were able to do that.
And there was loads of really great amends that kind of freed me up and allowed me to live in the present. But that was like a big one.
That's fantastic. I have seen people who I never ever thought would get there through doing the steps. It's remarkable. We have a lot of people that get concerned and talk themselves out of the fellowship because of the concept of God. How would you say to them, if you're not religious, how would they manage that?
I'm not religious. My first sponsor said, it's not God that talks you out of the room, it's God that brings you in. like in our fellowship, it's kind of a Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
But it's a higher power,
Yeah.
and it is what you want it to
Whatever
be.
you need to want it to be.
However many members there can be that many different ideas of a higher power.
Yeah.
And if you are desperate enough,
you'll make it work.
Yeah, that was my experience. My dad and stepmom were kind of strict atheists, and I kind of grew up with that belief system. And the word God didn't. I would have run down the high street naked if it meant I didn't have to keep doing what I was doing to myself. I kind of just took it, and I've kind of created my understanding of a higher power, which evolves around nature. And I think I don't like to give advice, but try and remain open-minded.
Yes.
Give it a chance, and if it's not for you, that's fine. But try not to dismiss it because that's what I've got, an illness that will try and keep me out of those rooms still years later. Like I will find reasons not to go to those meetings and do well, and that's what I'm up against.
That's often the feedback I give of you can make that higher power whatever you need it to be. But like you said, if for me, I would have done the running down the street naked thing, like whatever it takes. And I work with a guy he was an atheist, and his higher power was the fellowship itself. And that concept of this will guide me through it and stuff, and it's making it work for you.
You sit in a room full of people that are bare in their bones, like getting like really to the grits of what this stuff does to us, and you can't deny there's not a power in that room.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Just the power of vulnerability is like unbelievable.
And I think that with every meeting, with a load of people, so I run a meeting that's got 30 people coming at the moment, to just see them constantly showing up and showing up for each other. That in itself is more powerful than anything I've seen before, them supporting each other.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So would you recommend to anyone listening to this who's on the fence, not quite there, give it a fucking go?
Yeah, give it a chance. I had some questions early on. I was a bit. My first sponsor said to me, "Give it a year.
Yeah.
What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
Like you can have all that back.
Yeah.
This is a revolving door.
Yeah. Yes.
Just stick it out.
Yeah.
Give it a year, and if your life isn't better, then you can have it all back.
Yeah.
Go and it's all there waiting for you.
Yeah.
But you've never tried anything else. And I never went back.
Yeah.
I gave it the year.
Yeah. That's a really good thing to think of. Give it a chance. Give yourself a chance.
Yes. Because how long had I been trying to make it work using?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just getting worse.
Yeah.
Nothing was getting better.
No, and you've got to be open to whatever what will hit your soul, really, isn't it? Whatever that will be. Go and find. It's not going to land on your lap, is it?
No, that's the other thing. It is an action thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not given to us. All throughout my using, I always believed that something outside of myself was gonna. And I generally, if I'm really honest here, I thought it was going to be a very wealthy older woman.
Yes.
That was going to swoop in
and save
see me for the delight that I am. Beneath all of this mess, and take me away to a country estate where there was no drugs, where I'd have no access. Never that I'd want to stop using them, that I just wouldn't be able to.
But the wealthy old lady was going to save you.
Exactly. We'd have a lovely life, eating caviar and walking the dogs. And
she just never came.
She never showed up. No. And it got to a point like, oh, maybe you're going to have to take responsibility.
Yeah. Which I really don't want to do, but I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
So moving forward and fast forward to today, 7 years clean time?
Yeah, just coming up.
Yeah.
New Year's Day.
Still attending meetings?
Yeah, regularly.
Still engaging with people who maybe are higher, like through the process, or people starting out? So do you speak to people who are kind of coming into it?
Yeah, absolutely. I sponsor men through the work, and I still work with my sponsor as well. Yeah, still heavily involved in the program, and that's how I keep what I have by giving it away. Yeah. And I enjoy it. It's not a chore. No. It's not a task. It's just what I do to keep myself well.
Yeah.
I've got a home group that I attend every week without fail, and I normally do a couple of meetings out of town as well when I can. It's just I'm not gonna I've got a head that kind of says, well, you know, all right now.
Yeah.
Because I hear the experience of other members that have had those thoughts and bought into them.
Yeah.
You know, with decades clean and come back after relapses. You know, we're never free from it. You know,
it's devastating, isn't it, when you see people who've got long, like decades behind them, and you think, God, it can happen to anyone, that relapse from it.
And I think it's a really good reminder that, like, of what we're dealing with.
Yes.
Like, that never goes away. You know.
No.
And if I back myself into a corner, I've only got one solution.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to type.
Yeah.
We see it time and time again.
Yeah.
And I'm just not willing to give it all up.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a really beautiful life today.
Yeah.
Someone that came in, I didn't have bank accounts, you know, like I was a street addict. You know, and we've just got a mortgage.
Yeah.
Which is just, you
know, I was going to say, you've got a mortgage, got a baby on the way, got a fiance who's an amazing woman.
She is, yeah.
Would you ever have a million years have imagined that this would be your life now?
No. I didn't really know what my life was going to look like without drugs.
Yeah.
And it's just my idea of the nice life. Everyone's got different ideas of kind of what they want from life. And but the recovery has given me the ability to go out and pursue and see what I like and see what I don't like, revisit old ideas, find out they're not for me anymore, you know, explore new ideas and just kind
You've done a lot of travelling as well, haven't you?
Yeah, done a lot of travelling. We've done, and that's down to Kat, you know. She's very driven when it comes to new experiences. I'm a bit more fear-based. I'm tired as well.
Fear-led as well. I'm going to say my partner drives me because for every idea I think of 10,000 risks rather than let's just do it. But whenever I do it, I think I'm so glad I did that and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Get braver, don't you?
Yeah, definitely, and I think that builds, doesn't it? Like I started to realise at some point the fear is just a voice.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, if I walk through that, then I grow.
Yeah.
And nothing's as scary as I make it out to be.
No.
But we complement each other quite well. She's got me out seeing the world.
Oh, it's fantastic, and something that I'm sure you could never have imagined. You would have found once upon a time.
Exactly. You know, I've lived through some horrific things, and then Monday night we were at an antenatal class. You know, with like 20 other parents who are all just normal bugs. And you know, I feel like an imposter a lot of the time in my life. I feel like the outsider, and like, because I know I've lived all this other stuff. But I was able to just be a part of that group. You know, and talk about the birth and just be like an adult involved in the community. And it's like, that's the growth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, I just came away from that. It's like,
this is going well. That's fantastic. Do you have any books, films, or albums that you would recommend for people to listen to that helped you along the way?
I was just quite self-indulgent, Lauren, if I'm honest. I listened to a lot of the Smiths.
Yeah, so I've got Morrissey tattooed. Don't get more self-indulgent than that.
I was a lot of... So I had to go through a real mourning process in my early recovery. Like, there's a lot of self-pity involved. There was a lot of... I just had to let go of a lot of stuff. So a lot of my early recovery stuff was just really sad. London Grammar, Morris, Michael Kiwanuka, you know, all that stuff. There's a great film called Don't Worry, Can't Run Away. Can't Walk Away. About the cartoonist that had an accident and then gets into recovery.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll come back. And
I was going to say, I'll search it and I'll put it in the link below for people to watch.
Film. He's not going anywhere on foot.
Right.
A Million Little Pieces, the book.
Yeah, fantastic book, isn't it?
Yeah, and also the follow-up, My Friend Land, is a fantastic read. What else? Beautiful Boy. Yeah. And the Basketball Diaries. If you ever need a way of remembering just how desperate it gets, how fun it starts and how desperate it ends. That's a good film. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today, Joe. Your story is fantastic, and I think you're a really brilliant example of no matter where you're at, you can turn things around. It doesn't have to be a death sentence if you don't want it to be.
There's always hope.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. You've been an absolute legend. And join us next week for episode 5.